Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and whatever else is watching. My name is Nick and we are playing once more Dragon Quest Builders 2 for the Nintendo Switch. In the previous episode we rebuilt this temple. Well, as much as you can call it rebuilding, but by placing just a few blocks on a blueprint. It was hardly worth calling rebuilding. But as a present, we actually got ourselves a hammer. And as you can see, the hammer is on a separate button from the weapon. It actually replaced the gloves. I can still use the gloves by pressing A. I can grab the glove. But I can also use the hammer, and then you see that my gloves also change. Apparently I don't need those big gloves for the hammer. But more importantly, a quality of life feature that was changed is that the weapon is on a different button. You don't have to continuously switch anymore, or just stick with the hammer. That also becomes more clear if you see, yeah, that one. The hammer has an attack of +4, while the cypress stick has an attack of +8. That, yeah, the hammer will never have much of an attack. Even if I get better hammers that are much stronger, but I still don't get a better weapon, or they will never be better than a weapon. Even the cypress stick can outdo the best hammer, I think. I'm not too sure. There are some exceptions, but that is for much later in this LP. However, what I do want to focus on is that attack and destruction are now different stats. I cannot do anything with my weapon against these blocks. But as you can see, I can crack these blocks with my hammer, even though the attack stat is lower. That's because the destruction stat is hidden. It doesn't say anywhere what the destruction stat is. But a weapon will never be very high in a destruction stat. That's why it can only break the simplest things such as sand blocks and all that kind of stuff. But to progress the story, the Hairy Hermit asked us to break this bit. And behind it, also something which is interesting. In Dragon Quest Builders 1, when you start hammering, it would hammer first the lower level of blocks and then the upper level of blocks, of the two blocks that were right in front of you. Here it does first the higher level of blocks and then the lower level. Of course you can also, by looking up and jumping, break those blocks. And I do want to break those blocks so that I kind of have removed those. But this is what the Hairy Hermit wanted us to see. You call that a treasure? It just looks like a tatty old notice board to me. It's actually not a notice board, it's a spoiler board for new players. So if you haven't seen it, I advise you not to look at it, well, to go through this, but never to really look at it It may seem ordinary to the untrained eye, but that notice board is in fact a portal through which a builder may peek into other dimensions. I'll explain more later. For now, just peer into the portal and marvel at all the knockout things you see. Okay, you have to connect to the internet for this though. That's for sure. But most of all, this is actually just a spoiler board, because it can show things, it can show scenes from later in the game that you're not in this tutorial not even close to. It can even show you things that, well, you're not supposed to know about just yet. And that's a little bit sad. Also, you can visit other islands with this. However, because of that, I will go over this notice board in more detail later. And just know now, this thing is valuable. It is very valuable. And it's inspirational. But it is at this moment very spoiler heavy. Ho 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 ho! Did you like what you saw? Youngens. Oh yes, I saw the most wonderful photographs, and there were so many of them. I hope Nick takes the time to snap a few himself. I can be his model. Ho 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 ho! You youngens, enjoy yourselves. Come and find me when you're done. Done. I'll be waiting right out here. Okay, open the menu and then take a picture. Maybe later. Like the notice board, I'll go over that as well later. Even though they kinda encourage you to do now, but it's optional. Oh ho ho ho! So how do you like your new notice board? It's quite the snapper's paradise, isn't it? As long as you have one of those boards nearby, you can flout the laws of space and time and observe the work of other builders whenever you desire. And you can put your creations on display for other builders to view, too. I'm sure you can see that the notice board is a super source of ideas and inspiration. And also theft. If I have seen a good few pictures. Half of that was complete gibberish to me, but if it helps you build the palace of my dreams, I'm all for it. Seriously, again your palace? How about I just build you a hut first? Okay? Speaking of which, I can't see you making much progress on that anytime soon. There's one rather big stumbling block that's getting in the way, and that is... It's this island. There are hardly any raw materials. We only saw the beach and this central mountain. We don't even know. We haven't visited the other places just yet. How do you know that there aren't any raw materials? Lulu. Where do you get that from? There are hardly any raw materials, and I don't think even a master builder would contemplate constructing a castle out of scallywinkles and kelp. Well, you know what? A hut out of scallywinkles and kelp for you? Yeah, that probably would be very fitting. Ho 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 ho! I know that, little lassie. There's only one way to get your hands on the materials you need. Track them down elsewhere and bring them back here. Oh. As the young damsel pointed out, this island is more than a little lacking in useful materials for an aspiring builder. But even if you had everything you needed, I doubt you'd make much headway with just the three of you. Wood and stone are all well and good, but what you really need is people. You'll have to travel to other islands and bring back a few friends to help you out. Besides, it gets lonely rattling around on this big island all by yourself. A few fresh faces will really liven the place up. Hold on, I thought we were stranded here. How are we supposed to get these other islands without a ship? Maybe I can scrounge up enough wood to build a ship, okay? Ho 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 ho! Okay, I sounded like Santa Claus there. A top-notch questions, indeed. And one that the heavens shall soon answer. You're just winging this, aren't you? You don't have a clue. Hmm? Oh, pray. How about talking about Deus Ex Machina? Whew. Ho ho ho. A ship. However, whoever would have thought it? This is some Deus Ex Machina event though. You're doing this on purpose now, alright? Out with it. Who are you really? And you can cut all that Guardian Spirit rubbish. Well, to tell you the truth, I can't remember who I am. I'm not even sure I ever knew. But I've got a funny feeling that it will all come right back to me if I watch Nick work his building magic. Well, there's no time like the present. Let's go and speak to the captain of that ship and get the work started. Okay, a new destination has been added to our map. Okay, let's talk to the captain. We can... Well... we can jump down here, I think. Yeah, why not? Let's jump. Not the effect I would have expected. And that's the effect I expected. If you fall from too high a level, this game has fall damage. The higher you fall, the more damage you will sustain. So do be careful. Ow. But then again, this game also has automatic HP regeneration. If you don't damage yourselves too much, you will find that as you look in the top left corner of my HP bar, that after a while the HP points will gradually return. And the further along I get in the game, the higher levels I get. I don't know if it is progress in the game or progress with the story, but I do get more and more points returned, and also in lesser amount of time, which, well, is very good, because eventually this game is all about building and not about going game over. Hello, who the heck are you? Ahoy there, me briny bilgerat. I haven't seen any other humans for fathoms. The name's Brownbeard. I was painting the ocean blue, minding me bee's knees, when I sailed right into the path of one of the children of Hagen's slave ships. I managed to avoid them, but only by steering into a terrible storm. By the time I realized my map was back to front, I was already stuck in a coffee stain. Oh, this is the great level of humor you get with Brownbeard. It's all this nonsensical stuff about sailing. It's like talking to a toddler in that sense. Already stuck in a coffee stain. Oh yeah. I tried to turn back, but I was lost at sea. That's when I eyed this island on me port bow and punted over. So, what's your story? How did you young snapper whippers end up here? Shouldn't you say whippersnappers? My name's Lulu, and this is the kingdom of Lulutopia. No, it's not! It's not Lulutopia. Or at least it will be once Nick here is finished with it. No, it's not. It's going to be a different kingdom. Called differently. Lulutopia? Hey, sounds like a lovely place for land lovers like yourselves. Aye, and a safe haven for a salted old sea dog like me. Goddess only knows what would have become of me if I hadn't sloshed it up on these shores. Goddess only knows what this guy's talking about. Tell you what, if you let me stick around, I'll be your chauffeur. I'll ship you off to any island. From here to the second stain on me map. Backside. Again. Or at least I'll try. You see, I know these oceans like the back of my neck. And I don't know me neck at all. I think very few people actually know the back of their necks. Because considering in order to see how your the back of your neck looks like, you actually need a couple of mirrors so that the light can go around your head, as it were. And then it's even still very small to watch. The only thing that you know about the back of your neck is how it feels. You can't even smell it because other smells of yourselves are actually stronger. Like your armpits, for example. And you can't taste it either because your tongue is, well, your tongue is not long enough to wrap around your head all the way to the back of your neck. Well, maybe that, how was his name? That guitarist, or that one of those members of the band Kiss. Maybe he could do it, but no. Any regular person doesn't know. The only thing that can actually sense the back of your neck is your touch. So yeah, no one knows it. But if you hear of any islands nearby, I'll happily ferry you over. Well, your boat's a bit on the small side, but it looks in decent nick. I'd say we've got a deal. Ho ho ho, it seems everything is dropping into place. Yep. Let's see, can I make? Yeah, too bad. The fine captain will take you to nearby islands where I'm sure you'll find plenty of materials and able body helpers to bring back. Well, the first thing Lulutopia needs is a little greenery. I can picture it now. Tree-lined boulevards, spacious parks and tables sagging under the weight of freshly picked vegetables. Well, it's a good idea, but it's not gonna be Lulutopia. And this is also something that I really dislike about Lulu. She keeps droning on about Lulutopia. Malroth, on the other hand, yes, he mentions it a few times that he wants the Malroth Empire of Evisceration. But Lulu keeps droning on about Lulutopia. Every other sentence she mentions it almost. And that is just insane. Again, how she... It's like taking a gift someone else got at their birthday and taking it home for yourself because you like it as well. Seriously. That's just next level of egoistic narcissism or something. I'm not a clinical psychologist, so but a level of selfishness that is just... No. I cannot like a character like this. No matter what moments they may have. In that case, you should first visit Furrowfield, an island to the east, famed for its fertile fields and fruitful farms. The island is home to young lass with a bright future in farming and a dashing dandy with a bushy beard. They should be able to help your cause. I'll mark it on Captain Brownbeard's map. You just leave the sailing to him. You heard the magic monster, Nick. Come on and find me when you're ready to go and we'll weigh the anchor. It was 5 tons last time I checked. Okay. Before I do this, I am going to do something else first. Also, because I want to visit something on this island. Also, I want to talk about something else. How do I say it? When this game originally was released, Square Enix also brought a demo out. They released a demo for this game. And this demo actually went up to the point that I would now be talking to Brownbeard. He would get Furrowfield on the map, and if I would want to sail off to that place, it would say you have to continue this in the real game. And in all honesty, that demo, if I had not played the first game, it would have turned me off. I know a couple of friends to whom I recommended this game, that they should play this, because it is a very fun game to play. It's very enjoyable. However, they played this demo, and I cannot disagree with them that they felt bored. Because everything we have done up to now is a tutorial that is actually also shown here. This is a page where you can just see whatever each button does. And this is then for the Pro Controller. And of course some combinational buttons, which also have a few spoilers in there. Everything of that is in there. All those little text boxes you get them in here under tips and tricks. Here you can actually see every single one of them. This is something, these little details It is very valuable, yes. But how drawn out they are. It could have been in such a shorter time span done, with less effort. Even this blueprint, I find this a horrible blueprint to learn about building blueprints. Later on we will get better blueprints, and that's why I will explain more about blueprints at that time. The tooltip for gloves, again, this was a horrible place to explain gloves, because you only explained it that you can pick it up and put it down. And it didn't show anything else. It did not show anything about what the core is of this game. Building towns, creating something. For existing players who already knew what was coming, it gave or existing players that had played the first Dragon Quest builders and were a fan of it, they actually got a little glimpse of how this game was expanded. For them it was a reasonable demo, I must say. Because it showed that this game was more interested in also telling a wider story, a bigger story, and has some RPG elements that you got from the mainline games, the mainline Dragon Quest games. And that is something that was valuable to them. However, for new players and also for existing players, the demo was still really boring. And yeah, I think that turned off many players to it. Nowadays you can no longer get that demo, and instead Square Enix released a jumbo demo. However, that was much too late. Most players had moved on, and most players who played the first demo had already made up their minds that this game was boring. It wasn't for them. And that's really sad, that just by having a wrong demo like this, a demo that just falls flat, a demo that is just not for the players who they intended it to be. Because the people who played Dragon Quest Builders 1 didn't need the demo. They were going to who liked that game, they were going to buy this game anyway. And that's the unfortunate bit. And I wish this could have been handled better. Okay, this is actually the place that I wanted to take to, and as you can see it's already turning into night. Because yes, we have now in the second day a day-night system started going. But first up, this, if you ever see a furniture like this, it will allow you to change your character. This is the female version. This is also the game's default setup. I just decided to pick the game's default setup. Picked up male. You can, if you wish, change the hair color. This isn't the hairstyle. You can change the skin color. Oh. And you can change the eye color. There are other stuff. These are, well, here you can actually change the hairstyles. But yeah, even the female hairstyles can be used for males. And all that. If you have completed Dragon Quest Builders 1, you have a completed save file, you get this historic hat as well. But yeah, this is how you change your avatar if you wish to change it later on. And there will be other things that I will talk about here as well. But the most important detail, remember, in Dragon Quest Builders 1, you actually had a series of books that you could find in each chapter called A Journey to Tantagel by Sir Reginald Augustus Grains of the Cantlin Brigade or Cantlin Brigade of Guards. This game has something similar, and that is with the legendary Builder memoirs. There's a dog-eared book entitled A New Dawn. Nick takes a closer look. It seems to be a long handwritten memoir. Do you want to read it? Yes, I want. At long last, I have found what I have long been searching for. A deserted island upon which my dreams may take shape. However, on my journey here, I learned a terrible truth about this world. Such is the weight this revelation carries. I can scarce find the courage to commit it to paper. Since the moment I awoke in this world, I had an inkling that all was not as it seemed. But the notion only truly began to take hold in Middenhall. When the truth finally dawned, my zest for life seemed to fade, and this decrepit vessel I call my body stood face to face with death. I landed here, a vibrant youth, but when I gaze into the mirror now, all that greets me is this wizened old countenance. To add to my woes, it would appear that the children of Hargan have discovered this island too. Whether it is they who will mete out my demise, or if nature shall be the one to receive that honor, I cannot predict. All I can say for certain is that death stalks me like a shadow. The memoir ends here. There, I mean. Yeah. Throughout this game, throughout the many chapters, or the various chapters that we will go to in this game, we will find more of these books. More memoirs of, well, the legendary builder who once actually built a lustrous island here, and, well, whose blocks kind of fall to the wayside. And I think this workbench will be also very important for later. This is also something he left behind. Yeah, we have also some materials that are locked. These will become available, we can build those once we have the required materials. Slumbering. Let's go back to Brownbeard, the Hairy Hermit and Lulu now, shall we? All well. Let's run. Oh yeah, wait, I don't have that yet. I was trying to use something I do not have yet. Oh man. That's something I use so often that I always forget I don't have it when I start over a new file again. To go through the story once more. Oh, I'm absolutely starving. And when you're starving, again, also good to show, I do not get hurt. I don't lose HP. That is something that they did away with from Dragon Quest Builders 1. However, I cannot run. I am pressing the R button now, but it's impossible to run. In addition, whenever I do this, I have to go through a exhausted animation. That is the payment of getting hungry. It's not that you lose life, it's just that everything becomes so much more difficult. Okay, now we're done. With that being said, let's get sail to our next island. Ahoy, Nick! Where will you be hauling anchor to today? Well, that is our next destination, Furrowfield. When you travel between islands, your save data will be overwritten and your autosave will be deleted. Please do not exit the game or turn off the console until you reach your destination. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes. But I must warn ye, this vessel ain't built for chugging cargo. You'll have to leave behind everything you gathered here and fish for more materials when we reach our destination. Something this game will contradict after this next chapter. Sorry, but yeah, this game will contradict that very soon. But it's just a reason to, just like the first game, start each chapter over with, well, with, how do I say it? With nothing in your possessions. Just so that you have an empty and you have to collect everything from that place again. Find food, find shelter, find everything. And also all the building materials. Nick, Melworth, you've decided to go to this new island then? Yep, we're not sticking around here any longer. Hop aboard, Lulu, you're coming too. Actually, I think I'll stay here. What the? Thought you'd leave all the hard work to us, did you? Just get on board! I'm sorry, but I can't. After what happened on Hagen's slave ship, I don't think I can stomach setting foot on a boat right now. But don't let that stop you from exploring this Furrowfield place. I'll be fine here. I'm tougher than I look. I'll have you know. You've got a big responsibility on your shoulders. Now, Lulutopia needs materials. It's not gonna be Lulutopia! Food and new citizens. You have to find them and bring them back. Oh, and if I meet this farming prodigy out there, if you meet this farming prodigy out there, make sure she teaches you how to turn this island into a green and pleasant land. Together we can make Lulutopia a verdant paradise fit for a princess such as myself. Lulu, it's not your island, you're just a commoner. Don't make me regret extending you visiting rights here. Ho 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 ho. You two go off on your little adventure. Lulu will be safe here in my care. As if we can trust a word you say. Still, it's only Lulu's neck on the line. Alright, let's roll. We round up all these Furrowfielders and put them to work in the sweatshops of Melroth's Empire of Evisceration. Melroth, we're not gonna call it like that as well. When you get back, we can have a grand gala jamboree to celebrate Lulutopia's Foundation Day. No, Lulutopia. Bon voyage. Come on, Nick. I can't wait to see what Furrowfield is like. All this talk of food and farming is making my tummy rumble. Actually, you eat? I had forgotten about that. That this part of that this sentence was actually in here. Huh. Okay. All aboard for a trip abroad. Time to set sail. Yeah, in case you're wondering, I'm not really good of a voice actor. But with this I also want to say goodbye. This is the end of the episode, and in the next one we will enter Furrowfield. As we now get unskippable text boxes. So, the Lord of Destruction has befriended a builder. I thank you all for watching. And I hope to see you again next time. Leave a like behind if you liked this video. Leave a dislike behind if you didn't. Until then, bye! As destiny moves in mysterious ways, neither men nor monsters can escape its influence. But now is the time of creation. Build to your heart's content, young builder, while we await the day of awakening. There is only one who can save this world from oblivion. Melroth, the Lord of Destruction. Really? If he destroys everything, isn't that oblivion? How does he save it? Who are you anyway? This curious voice.